Hello and welcome back. This is another 5th and 6th grade decimals video. And in this video, we're going to be focused on how to sequence decimals or put them in order from either least to greatest or greatest to least. Okay, here is our first one. We're going to put this one in order from least to greatest. So what we're going to do is we're going to put an L over here for least and a G over here for greatest. I like to put the L and the G in the right spots. That way it kind of keeps me, when I'm making my list, it kind of keeps me on track. Okay, so what I like to do with comparing anything, comparing whole numbers or decimals, is I like to stack them all up. But the first thing I'm going to do is check the largest place value they all have to see if it's different. So these all have zeros in the ones place. So that is not different. So that means I'm going to go ahead and stack these up. So I'm going to write 0 0.6, 0 0.7, 0 0.3, 0 0.5, and 0 0.8. So again, we already looked at the ones place and saw that those were all the same. So I'm going to move over to the next greatest place value they all have, which is the 10th place. So I'm going to start now sorting them out. So 8 is the biggest of those numbers. So that's going to go over here. So I'm going to put 0 0.8 over here. Then let's see, 3 is the smallest of those numbers. So I'm going to put this one over here, 0 0.3. And I can cross these off as I go. Okay, so that means out of the ones I have left, 5, 6, and 7, 5 would be the next smallest. So that would go here and cross that off. Next would be 6. So I'm going to put 0 0.6 here and cross that off. And next would be 0 0.7. So I'm going to put that there and cross it off. Now I'm going to erase all of this just because it looks very messy. There we go. And now they are in order from least to greatest. So it'd be 0 0.3, 0 0.5, 0 0.6, 0 0.7, and finally 0 0.8. Okay, here is our next one. We're putting these decimals in order from greatest to least. So I'm going to put a G over here. Oops, there we go. Put a G over here and an L over here. That means my final list should be going from greatest to least, and that G and L kind of helps me keep things on track. So I'm going to start by, since all of them have a number in the ones place, comparing that first. So I see a 2, a 2, a 2, and a 3, and a 2. So that means automatically 3.1 is bigger than all the rest of them. So I'm going to go ahead and put 3.1 over here as the greatest, and then I can cross it off. Now the rest of them all have 2s, so that's not going to help me sort them, and put them in order. So I'm going to go ahead and stack these up. So I'm going to start by putting 2.91, then 2.3, 2.7, and then 2.71. So I'm going to stack them up just as if I was comparing them. And as long as your decimals are lined up, they are stacked up in the correct order. So like we said before, all the 2s are the same. So that's not going to help us sort them. But we're going to go to the next place value they all have. So we can see we've got a 9, a 3, and 2 7s. Well, we know out of those, the 3 is the smallest. So I'm going to put 2.3. Oh, wait, no, not over there. I forgot. We got to go put it over here because we're going in reverse order. So 2.3 is the smallest. So that means 2.3 is the least. And I'm going to cross that one off. Now, out of the ones I have left, 9 is greater than the 2 7s. So I know this number right here is going to go here, 2.91, and then I can cross that off. So what I have left are the 2 ones with the 7. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe delete some of this up here just to make some room, if I can, without erasing too much. There we go. Okay, so again, we've already compared there, and we need to compare here. So the 2 7s aren't going to help us. When I go to the next place value over, I see that one of them has a 1 and the other one has nothing. So instead of the nothing, I'm going to put a 0. 1 is greater than 0. So I know this one is my next greatest, 2.71. Cross that off. And that leaves just 2.70 or 2.7 to go right there. So this should be my order from greatest to least. Okay, here is our next one. We're putting these decimals in order from greatest to least. So again, I'm going to start by just kind of looking at the whole numbers, which there's only one digit for each of them in the whole number spot to see if any of them stand out to me. I'm also going to put G over here and L over here for greatest and least. So we see that this is a 4, a 5, a 4, and a 4. So 5 is greater than the other 3 4s, so that means this is automatically the greatest number. So I'm going to put this here, 5.33, and then I can cross it off. Now the rest of them all have 4s in the ones place, so I'm going to rewrite them down here and stack them up so that all their place values are aligned. So 4.491, then 4.247, and then 4.561. Again, as long as their decimals are all lined up, then you know all the numbers are lined up. So the 4s are all the same, so we're not going to use that to put them in order. But when we go to the next place value, the 10th place, they are all different. So we can definitely use this to put them in order. The smallest of 4, 2, and 5 would be the 2. So this number has to be the least. So I'm going to rewrite that here, 4.247, and then I can cross that off here. Between the 4 and the 5 is greater than the 4, so this one would be next, 4.561 on the greater side, and then this one would be 4.491 right there in between the 5 and the 2. So this is the order from greatest to least. Okay, here's our next example. We're putting these in order from least to greatest. So I'm going to put an L over here and a G over here. Then I'm going to also look at the whole numbers to see if that can help me eliminate or go ahead and place one or two of them. 68, 69, 68, 68, and 68. So 69 is bigger than the rest that are 68. So I'm going to write that over here. 69.544 would be the greatest. Crossing that off. Now I'm going to go ahead and stack the rest. So we've got 68.56. We have 68.61, 68.8, and then 68.52. Okay, so we've already talked about how all the 68s are the same, so that's not going to help us. But if we go to the next place value, which is the 10th place, we do have some that are different. We've got 2 5s, we've got a 6, and an 8. Well, out of those numbers, the 8 would be the greatest. So that's going to be over here, 68.8. So I'm going to go ahead and put that there and then cross it off. Okay, between what's left, the 2 5s and the 6, 6 is greater than 5. So we're going to go ahead and put 68.6 right here and cross that off. Now the 2 5s, we need to go a little bit further to figure out which of those and which of those is greater and what order they go in. So we're going to go over here and I see one of them has a 6 and one of them has a 2. Well, 6 is bigger than 2, so that means that that one with the 2 is the least. 68.52 will go right there next to the least. And then this one, 68.56 will fit right there. So this is the order of these decimals from least to greatest. Okay, here is our last example for today's video. We're putting these decimals in order from greatest to least. So I'm going to put a G over here and an L over here. Again, I'm going to start by looking at the whole numbers to see if that can help me. I see a 27, a 4, a 43, and a 2. So really, it's just the whole numbers that are going to help us here. We don't even have to look at the decimals because all those whole numbers are different. So I'm going to just go ahead and rewrite the whole numbers we have. We have 27, we have 4, we have 43, and we have 2. Well, out of those whole numbers, 2 is the smallest. So I'm going to go ahead and put 2.4 over here as my least, and then cross that off. And then I can cross it off there too if I want. Out of the remaining ones, I know 4 would be the next biggest. So I'm going to go ahead and find this number that has the 4 with it, 4.273, and then cross that off, and here too. Now between 27 and 43, 43 is greater. So I'm going to put 43.27 over here and cross that off. The remaining one is 27.4, and that's going to fit right there. So this is our order from greatest to least for this set of decimals. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you in another video soon.